you just drinking that one? Okay.
Very different.
Yeah, quite different. I'm Phil.
I'm Diba.
Welcome to another Whiskey Mystery in our new set. Much more in the background. Don't let that distract you. Don't look up there. Just concentrate on what's down here. Pepper in the Sponge Cake. Been around for a little bit. 2 new ones. Alice in Wonderland. Tastes Like a Memory. We'll explain a bit of that in a moment. But first, because we emptied 2 bottles last week, we get to put 2 new ones in. And these 2 new ones are both 10-year cask strength, but very different. A Lafroig 10-year cask strength, and a Henry McKenna single barrel. Paid a little bit over for this, but it's become very popular. $49. So we are talking about Kentucky Straight, bottled in bond. So this is 50%. And obviously it's a 10-year. Lafroig 10-year cask strength. This is one of those prices that seems to be very high in the UK. We only paid $73, including taxes, although it was the last bottle on the shelf at Total Wine. And this one is batch number 10. So those have now gone into bottles like this to be picked out in future episodes. But for today, Pepper in the Sponge Cake, kind of lighter, cakey with pepper notes. Alice in Wonderland, because it literally takes you off on an adventure like we've never experienced before. It takes you into another world of whiskey. It's anyway, we'll get to that. And Tastes Like a Memory, have we drunk it all already? It's more because it's not quite delivering the flavors, right?
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Throw it into memory.
Let's
Forget.
Let's start with it.
Inamisme.
Like our notes, I was getting. It's a bit woody, like a lollipop stick. A little bit of that wood in it.
Shortbread.
Yeah, it's a bit buttery shortbread. We also had something like butter on, you know those chips, vegetable chips you get, apple chips? Like butter on apple chips, dried apple, something like that.
The grassy vanilla shortbread.
It is a little bit grassy as well. Why don't you taste it? Now this is 40 plus ABV. Yeah, it's a little bit grassy as well. Quite pleasant nose. Buttery, grassy shortbread.
The flavour, it cannot keep up with the alcohol.
The flavour can't keep up with the alcohol, meaning the alcohol is a stronger flavour. Oh, right, it's 48 plus.
It's not cheesy flavours.
Well, actually, it tastes stronger now. But it's right. It's like teasing the flavours. It's like the flavours are sort of underneath something else, and the something else is not a flavour.
Now I'm getting stuff but sweet.
It is, I mean, it's borderline sweet. It's more herbal than sweet. It's more herbal than honey. And it's a bit more licorice aniseed than it is honey. Yeah, maybe this needs a bit of water. Let's try. Because it is strong.
The flavour are beautiful flavours.
This might be one of those ones that you need to sit and be patient, I think. And we tend to rush through these things a little bit.
It's slightly better with the water. The sweeter flavour are coming up to the surface.
We gave it the name Tastes Like a Memory because it's like the flavours aren't strong enough to be present. It's more like how you remember something tastes.
Because of alcohol.
I don't know, it's powerful on one side. The strength is powerful, but the flavours are quite soft, even weak. No, I think this is the strongest. We better leave Alice in Wonderland for a little bit. Okay, this is probably a good comparison between these two. Less than 48 ABV. Pepper in the shortbread. No peat or char or any kind of off sulfury smoke or anything like that.
Vanilla.
Yes, a bit vanilla figs. It's not herbal, but it's slightly dry, spicy, slightly.
Actually, there's no peat, no smoke.
But it is sweet in the way that a sponge cake is sweet, without being sugary. But there's a bit of sugar in the sponge cake mix.
So similar to this shortbread.
No, much more sort of spiced herbal. And this is a lighter. There is very slight chocolate powder, leather notes on there, on the empty glass.
It's that mushy.
Yeah, the taste didn't do that much that time. It's not as biting as we've had it before, but it is peppery licorice more than it is honey.
It's as they were peppercorns in sponge cake.
Yeah, peppercorns in the sponge cake. So the smell is sponge cake, but the taste is pepper. If you had to bias it one way or the other. Wonder if water will bring a little bit out. I think the nose is better than the flavour.
It's getting a peppery finish.
Softer with the water. It's kind of herbal honey as well. It's just that this is more herbal honey. Maybe it's the ABV. Seems like there's slightly more going on there. Are you ready? I think when we opened this on our first sip, it really was a wow moment. Oh. All right. Okay. Wow. It just might be. The experience of how it hits your tongue is completely different to anything I've had before.
So we've the bottle and oat it come out.
I mean, when you're sipping normal whiskey, obviously it's cold. When it goes onto your tongue, it doesn't taste. I mean, the temperature doesn't seem to change. It seems to be like, okay, the glass is cool. With this one, though, the glass is cool, the liquid is cool, but the sensation when you taste it. It's like, it's so dark and it's like everything implodes. It's literally like you've gone down the rabbit hole of Alice in Wonderland and you sort of don't know where you've gone.
It's very thin.
It's very thin but dark and rich. I don't think we're doing a good job of explaining. Oh, let's try and pin some down. Okay, nose notes. Woody and honey.
Chocolate powder.
The alcohol vapor is overpowering on this though. Let me go back to the empty glass. There is kind of raisins or something dark fruit, but there's also something slightly metallic, and we'd actually said a metal box or a metal tin of raisins.
Getting a crashy rye.
Is there a bit of rye? Do we think this one is American? I think we do think it's American, don't we? This ABV is way high, or something is very unique about this.
So yummy. Thin and it's just spoil me. I mean, I hate no butter and.
The finish is a little bit towards the aniseed fennel. Maybe that's rye in there. Something, wow, even after swallowing.
You feel the actual tasty whiskey. You never end it from smelling the flavor, taste, and finish.
Just for the experience alone, let alone the flavors, I'm just going here.
I'm giving it for effect.
Now, what about between these two? Pour a little bit more. Oh, you don't need to pour? Okay. Then I can drink them, I guess. This is very close.
I thought it would get by ABV.
I was trying not to... Actually, that's true. The ABV should be higher. So this is here. It has a nicer nose, but then...
Peppery.
But then when you taste, it's a little bit of a letdown. Okay.
So you have to give it sour.
So we have a split... I guess we have a split decision.
But I don't like it.
I think they're both very equal.
Something like that. I think it's peppery.
This one is just out on its own as just an experience. These two, I would say they're both good, but it's just like here and here.
I agree.
This one did seem better today than when we first tasted it the other day. So I think that is fair. So we're going to go with number 27, Pepper in the Sponge Cake. So now we're going to make some guesses. And because we have the bigger shelves, let me switch over to hand cam. Because it's got to be one of the bottles up on the shelf. What could it be? It could be anything up here.
It's a pepper over there.
It could be any of these. It could be any of these. Or even something down here. Oh, there's more over there. It could be any of these. All right, we're going to spend a little bit of time looking. I'm thinking it's a 43 ABV, 12 to 15-year-old.
Very light. That's too smooth.
I'm thinking in the space side.
Space side.
Maybe a Highland.
But they're in a balcony.
Oh, that could be a good guess. Let's see. You're thinking it could be Balvenie Doublewood? Oh, I feel like I want that guess now. Oh, it's much more fun having them on the shelf. Is there any chance it's Longmorn 16? That wasn't sponge cake though, that was more like melon and pepper, wasn't it? Glengarry, Glenallachie. I think that's a good guess. Do these even have sherry? Speyside, Highland. I thought it was older than 12 though. 46. It's not 46, is it?
But we're gonna have mine.
I can have yours if I want. ABV. Ready? 43. We're both right. Age?
Oh no!
No! So annoyed. 18. Oh!
It could be.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. So we're both wrong again. And price $84. So that means the score didn't have to be too high, but maybe 90-ish. Oh, I didn't really place where I'd put it, but not scoring that high, is it? Region is a Speyside. Is Glenfiddich a Speyside? It's got sherry as well. Oh, I should have stuck with my age guess. All right, what is it? Glenfiddich. Hey, not bad. Not bad. That means we have had it before.
Buttery, no flavour. That's pretty much good. The bit of sheep, buttery, smooth.
See, I've got this nice toffee finish though. It's the Glenfiddich 18. I mean, that is definitely cheap for an 18-year-old, but in terms of ranking though, I mean, when you look of what we have been enjoying the most, no, it'd still have the Glenlivet ahead, and that's true. And Kilchoman, Oban definitely, Deanston definitely. This, I think it's kind of along with the Lismore, isn't it? It's somewhere about in here. Just about making it on the shelf. Abelauer. We'll let it live on with Ben Riach for a little bit. Now, I wonder what that will taste like. Yes, there's another shelf just out of picture. Well, I think we did pretty well there. But you know what? There, somewhere, is a new bottle. Wherever I put it? It was right here. I have a thing about the etch bit on the glass. I don't like it that much. A new bottle is going to be number
31.
31.
And mine is 38.
It is below 48 ABV. And a new mystery adventure begins. Well, okay, that's quite light. Yeah, go on, hold some up. Light in colour.
Beer.
Oh yeah, we're not supposed to give notes, are we? Alvini 12.